The Supreme Court's recent decision on President Obama's health care law is one of the hottest topics right now on Capitol Hill, but there are a lot of other big issues going on in Washington that affect us here in West Michigan.
That's right. Joining us this morning with more is Congressman Bill Huizenga. Bill, great to see you once again.
Hey, good seeing you, Mike and Sarah.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
Well, this happened since we last saw you. The Supreme Court ruled on ObamaCare, or the Affordable Care Act. Just want to get your initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, well, in fact, here it is. This is the Supreme Court ruling. I've been reading and studying, and I think a lot of people have just been trying to dissect it and figure out what it all means. Obviously, a little bit of a surprise. Everybody had been watching Justice Kennedy. They thought that he would be sort of that swing vote. Turns out he's the guy that writes the dissenting opinion, and Justice Roberts is the one that swings it. And there's a very crucial part of it, though, was interesting. They took the Obama administration's argument that this is all about not about taxes, but about fines and penalties, and he said, well, that in fact isn't the case. If that's going to be the definition under the Commerce Clause, meaning federal government gets to regulate anything that goes across state lines and international lines and has the ability to regulate those actions, that in fact is what they said. Nope, that is not legal, but if it's a tax, it is legal. So it's interesting, the whole premise of why this was passed, and one of the arguments that it isn't a tax and it's just a fine, really turned itself on its head. So this is going to be fascinating. I think it does nothing but fuel the upcoming election, the debate between President Obama and Governor Romney, and this isn't an issue that we're done with as a country, for sure. Obviously,
something that I've heard, Bill, and maybe you can weigh in on this as well, is people say, well, everybody has to have auto insurance.
Yeah.
Why can't this be the same way?
Yeah. Well, two things. First and foremost, actually, auto insurance, or the whole notion of driving, is a state's issue. It's not the federal government that comes in and issues a federal driver's license, nor does the federal government come in and say, hey, we're going to tell you how much you're going to pay your bump shop to go and have your fender repaired, which bump shop you have to go to, all of these different things that are all part of the whole notion of what we're all pretty comfortable with as far as our auto insurance. This is very different, though, when it comes to health care.
So you joined Congressman Fred Upton at a town hall with Allegan County farmers in Hamilton. A lot of topics obviously discussed.
Yep.
How do you think the Affordable Care Act affects small business owners around West Michigan, because they're now going to have to provide some sort of insurance for their employees, depending on how many they have on staff, right?
Tremendous number of question marks that are out there, and I can tell you the overwhelming response that we get here in West Michigan is cautiousness with all these questions that are out there. But people are very, very nervous, and whether it's ag or manufacturing or whatever it might be, and there are some thresholds that are in there, but it's still really unclear exactly how it's going to affect. I have 3 employees at my little gravel company. What are we going to be doing? How are we going to be handling that? And some of these guys, in fact, I talked to a farmer on Saturday, a guy who runs Country Dairy up in New Era. They do a big, huge ice cream social every year, and he was saying, we're sitting there trying to figure out, what do we do? Do we just pay the penalty, which is actually cheaper, frankly, than having the insurance be purchased, and the type of insurances out there that are available is a question mark. What are they going to have to provide? Are they going to have to provide something that they don't particularly want, or their employees don't particularly want? Right. So that was one big issue. We talked about the weather. We talked about the farm bill, number of other issues at this ag town hall meeting, and it was good. Allegan County is currently in the 2nd district part of it, and all of it will be reverting to the 6th district, which is Fred Upton's district right now. So,
how serious are the Republicans about repealing this thing?
Yeah, well, it was one of the first votes that I took when I got to Washington, was to outright repeal. We've had a number of steps along the way. We're going back this week after the Supreme Court ruling. We know that there's some things that the Supreme Court said that we can't do in there. One of those forcing states to pay Medicaid and penalizing or pulling that money back if they don't. So we're going to be having another vote this week to repeal the rest of it again. And I think it's important to do that. And we've had some people say, well, if the Senate's not going to do this, why are you guys bothering? Well, the Senate hasn't passed a budget either, but that doesn't mean the House shouldn't go through the budget process. We still need to lay out what our priorities are and what we believe constitutionally we should be doing. And whether it's inaction on the Senate part or whether it's the president not willing to go along, we still have to do what we believe is the right thing. And obviously, in 2010, there was a huge reaction to this health care issue when we saw a massive class of 89 freshmen come in, and it's not an issue that we're done dealing with, obviously.
Okay, headed to Washington after this?
We will be, yes. Yep. Right. Headed back to the land of Oz. So.
Well, keep us up to date.
You got it. We will.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, bye-bye.